Welcome back to Guns 101, our video welcome message for new gun owners. It's brought to you by the Self-Defense Radio Network. I'm Rob Morse from Self-Defense Gun Stories. My partners tonight are Amanda Suffolk from Eye on the Target Radio, and that guy behind the curtain there doing the heavy tech lifting, that's Paul Lathrop from the Polite Society podcast. Tonight we get to have Melody Lauer join us. She's from Citizens Defense Research. Melody, you've trained a lot of people. I like your take on a lot of issues. We live in the car. We transfer the car. We take kids in the car. We go to work in the car. And sometimes we leave our gun in the car. Tell me about that.
Well, your car is not a holster. I mean, straight up. So one of the things that happens a lot with particularly gun carriers or people who are maybe just kind of like, I don't see the point of carrying a gun with me on my person all the time. I will just leave it in my car. I don't know how many times I've heard that. That is, to me, negligent for many different reasons. One, you can't control who has access to your car at all times, particularly if you go places like the mechanic's office or the mechanic or some other place where, the cleaners. There are lots of places where we leave, or valet parking. There are a lot of different places where we allow access to our vehicle that we wouldn't otherwise. And or even just parked in our garage. We think, oh, it's safe, we leave the car unlocked. So many guns are stolen out of vehicles. It is ridiculous, and it's completely unnecessary, and it's from a lack of responsibility on a gun owner's part. Your car is not a holster, and that is not where your gun belongs as a majority storage device. Are there times that we absolutely do have to leave our gun in our car because we're going to a place where it's not legal to carry, or many different areas? Absolutely. But it should be a temporary solution at best, and there should be a place within your vehicle that is attached to your vehicle that you can take the entire gun off, gun and holster, store it safely, and then take it off immediately and put it back on. Things like car holsters that are mounted on the vehicle somewhere, I do not agree with those for many, many different reasons. For safety reasons, for collision reasons, for snatching reasons, all these things. Your best place for a handgun is secured to your body in a proper holster, and that gun, whenever possible, should be coming with you out of the vehicle and not staying in the vehicle unless you absolutely have to, and it certainly should not be spending the night in your vehicle.
Well, Melody, that's such a good point. And as you're talking, I've got stories, and I want to roll one out for you. So I work at a place where my gun's not welcome at work. It's allowed in the parking lot, but it's not allowed in the building. So I took it off my person, in its holster, the whole thing, and I dropped it in the door pocket. Got out of my car, locked my car, and went to work. I am in a meeting and I get a text that says, hey, my car's in the garage. I took yours. They picked up the keys out of my office, took my car, and was driving down the road when they sent me the text. And I'm like, drive carefully. But all I could think of was, this guy's not a concealed carry holder. This guy's driving a car. He's now carrying concealed without a license. Right?
Yeah.
And he says he was three-quarters of the way back when he looked down and he went, uh-oh. And it was like, exactly, uh-oh. You need to ask first. My car was locked. My keys were in my office. I thought everything was good. From that point on, I now secure my keys in addition to securing my gun and securing my car. But those are the things that you're talking about that make so much sense. But yeah.
And so many, I have, one of the things, it's kind of a negative thing, but it's part of, my job and what I'm looking for, moments of defending your loved ones and your children. I get so many stories of children who gain access to a gun in a vehicle, either a gun that was stored. One of the most tragic ones I've read is a man who left his gun under the seat of his car. His girlfriend took the car to drop her car was in the shop, so she took her boyfriend's car to drop their 4-year-old off at daycare. He found the gun underneath the driver's seat, shot through the driver's seat, and killed his mom. So here's
I remember that story.
She would not have been driving that car. That was not her primary car. And that's what people think. They think, oh, well, I'm the only one who drives my car, or I'm the only one who has access to my car, or, they think all these things. But if they really thought through all the times, all it takes is once. All it takes is one time of you not having 100% control of your car, or that one time you forget to lock your door, or that one time someone decides to break into your car while you're at work, and now you have either provided a criminal with a deadly weapon, or you have provided access to an innocent individual who doesn't understand safe handling and safe storage, and you have opened yourself up to criminal liability by giving someone who should not have access to a gun access to a firearm. And all of those things, we have to think of the negative consequences and the way that things can go wrong before we think of the ways that things can go right. Because we like to think of all these scenarios where, well, I'm driving down the road and this happens and I grab my gun and I save the day. Yes, but that instance could happen, but the possibility of that happen is so minimal compared to all the ways that can go wrong. You are far, far better off not leaving that gun in that car and finding a much better way to secure it to your person. If it's uncomfortable, find a different holster system. Find a different way to carry it so that it is comfortable, so you can keep it on your body, so you're not transferring it back and forth, and you're certainly not leaving it in the vehicle.
No, and that makes so much sense. Give me, we've got a few minutes still. Give me your thought on people who have, I'm a life member of Second Amendment Foundation. I'm a life member of the NRA. What about the bumper stickers that say those support those, or the ones that have the big rifle for the papa and the little rifle for the mama and the pistols for all the kids, that little, those little pictograms, whatever. What are your thoughts of those?
I'm kind of right in the middle on them. I'm not as staunchly against them as some of my friends. I don't have anything like that on my vehicle, just because I don't like putting decorations on my vehicle in general. I'm not a big advertiser of personal things anyway. I think I tend towards I would rather not see it on a vehicle. However, for the purpose of someone could certainly identify it, and because, especially in places where they do know that you can't carry a gun in certain places, there are many instances where people have specifically looked for vehicles that have gun signs on them, or other NRA markings, even military stickers, proud mom of Navy, sailor, whatever. And those will be the vehicles that they break into looking for those kinds of valuables, because the chances are higher that, especially in a state that has stricter gun laws, you're probably storing a firearm there if you can't carry it in wherever it is you are going,
as opposed to walking around with it. Well, that's kind of my thought. Is I don't sticker or label any of that, because I believe it'll make me a target first off. I'm not.
And it does. Even from the other side of it, road rage incidences happen over much more minor things than that, and you'll hear people having very visceral reactions to either side, either a very liberal Democratic sticker, and someone will start calling them derogatory names or something because of their advertising their beliefs on their vehicle. And there's a level of separation there that allows people to not see people as people just because they're in a car, and that can be very dangerous.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that 100%. So, folks, we're going to wrap up this section. This is Melody Lauer from Citizens Defense Research. You can find her, you can find the group on Facebook. That's the best place, Citizens Defense Research. Look her up because the points she makes are really good points.